Hi everyone. For this video, we will all be learning our chapter 7, Pythagoras Theorem. Now these words, Pythagoras Theorem, is something that is new to us. But rest assured, after watching this and the next video, you'll be able to understand what is Pythagoras Theorem and you'll be able to use it to solve many math problems. Alright, so here we go. Now what exactly is this Pythagoras Theorem? Well, for one, we use Pythagoras theorem to find for the length of a side in a triangle. Alright, so we use it to find for a length of a side in a triangle. And the special thing about this triangle is it has to be a right angle triangle. So let's recap. What exactly is a right angle triangle? Well, a right angle triangle is a triangle with a right angle. One of the angles is a right angle. So there you have it. This is the only situation when a Pythagoras theorem can be used. And this is a very important word in Pythagoras theorem. It is called hypotenuse. Yet another new word for us to learn. So what exactly is this hypotenuse? Well, hypotenuse is the longest side in a right angle triangle. Alright, sometimes in a right angle triangle, we are unable to see which is the longest side. So what we can also do is we can identify this hypotenuse by seeing which is the side that is opposite the right angle. Alright, so let's say, given an example, this is our right angle triangle, and let's identify which is the hypotenuse. Well, from our eyes, we can see that AC is the hypotenuse because it is the longest side. It seems to be the longest side. However, if you are still unsure, what you can do is you can locate for the right angle. And the side that is opposite the right angle, that is your hypotenuse, which is also the longest side in your right angle triangle. Alright, so the side AC is the hypotenuse for this right angle triangle. And why do we learn Pythagoras theorem? Well, Pythagoras theorem is very applicable to us as we see in our real life situation at many instances. Alright, so for example, I'm sure this looks very familiar to you. Recently, we've been doing our NAFA testing, and this is our sit and reach station. Alright, so here, the brown part, we have the base, alright, where we will sit down, and the white part is where we have the backboard. The black part over here is where the ruler is, and a pole has been placed diagonally from the base all the way to the top of the backboard. Now, are you able to spot that a right angle triangle is actually evident in this setup? Alright, I'll give you a few seconds to just try to locate this right angle triangle. Alright, and if you guessed the right angle triangle to be here, then you are absolutely correct. Alright, so what's the point of using a Pythagoras theorem in this case then? Well, given the length of the base and also the length from the base to the top of the backboard, we would be able to find for the length of the pole that reaches out from the base to the top of the backboard, because this is a right angle triangle. And Pythagoras theorem is to help us to find for the length of a side in a right angle triangle. So in this question, we are actually finding for the red line, which also happens to be the hypotenuse. All right, because it is opposite the right angle. Now, we don't always only use Pythagoras theorem to find for the hypotenuse. We can also use Pythagoras theorem to find for either of the other two sides as well. So let me give you another example. I hope you find this very familiar because this is a picture taken from our indoor sports hall. And this is where our basketball hoop is. And there's a structure holding on to the basketball hoop. And we will only seen that it's mounted to the wall here, but I'm not sure if there's any one of you who managed to see there are cables from the wall that's holding on to the structure. Now, let me ask you again. Are you able to locate a right angle triangle in this picture? So let me give you a few seconds. And if you said it is here, you're right. All right. So yes, it's slightly off. Okay, but then yeah, so because of the camera angle, but this is actually a right angle triangle. Now, if given that we know the length of the cable, which is also happens to be the hypotenuse, and given that we know the length of the part of the structure, are we able to find for the height of the wall? So this time round, we are given the hypotenuse, all right, because this is a right angle triangle. So this part here, when I'm pointing to, this is the hypotenuse. And given the other side, we are also able to find for this side, which is not the hypotenuse, through Pythagoras theorem. Because again, Pythagoras theorem is to help us to find for any side in a right angle triangle, not just the hypotenuse. All right. But the thing about Pythagoras theorem is, of course, there are cheat codes for us to use. And we just need to remember them because they are as easy as A, B, C. So what exactly is this? C squared is equals to A squared plus B squared. Wow, sounds so easy, right? But what exactly are these A, B, and C? Well, all we need to know is that C is always the hypotenuse. So let's say we have a right angle triangle. All right, C is always the hypotenuse. So let's locate the hypotenuse. It is the side that is opposite the right angle. So that is your C. Then, what you might be asking, which is A and which is B? Well, let me tell you, as long as you locate your C correctly, it does not matter which side is your A or your B. All right, you can assign either of the sides to be A and B as long as you got your C correct. And we are not interested in C square at all. What we are interested is to find for C. Therefore, to obtain C from C square, we need to square root the C square. And like what we've been doing for the past few topics, whatever we do on the left, we have to do it on the right. Therefore, when we square root the left-hand side of the equation, we have to square root the right-hand side of the equation as well. Square rooting C square, we will get C. And it equals to square root of A square plus B square. So basically, there are these two cheat codes that we need to understand and use. All right. So basically, Pythagoras theorem can only be used for right angle triangle, and as long as we know where's our hypotenuse and these two cheat codes, everything will be very, very easy. All right. So now all that we have done so far is the theory. In the next video, we'll be going through some questions.